people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here, and yes, it's another Monday, so we have another collection video. So this is obviously the series where I go into my collection, go through each movie one by one series, and I tell you what I thought about it, if I can remember it, or if I haven't seen it. Try to alliterate there. So that's what you come for, so we shall get into it. So as we get closely to the last 5 shelves, is it? So it's all getting in. So we start off with a good old True Blood season 1, 2 and 3. So I was a big fan of this show. It did fail, or not fail, it did get a slightly boring as we went on. As you can see, I've watched it all on TV series, but picked it all up as I went on. Me and my friend were watching it together. Season 5. Wrapping season 6. Sookie Stackhouse, and then the final season, season 7. One definitely to go back to. One from back in the day, early 2000s. Elijah Dushku, hot off. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was True Calling, so she was called True, and basically she would help dead people. Obviously does cover some extra episodes, and obviously Jason Priestley came into the second season. It's a shame it got canned, but it is what it is. So then we have True Detectives. Really liked this series. Then I bought the second series, but I've never got round to finding time to watching it, unfortunately. True Grit. Not the biggest Western fan in the world, but I didn't mind this. Is that a young Hailee Steinfeld, it looks like? True Identity, kind of a reversal. White chicks, very bad and cheesy, but the special effects in that, all the makeup was really good, I think. True Legends. It's got no label on it, but I haven't seen this yet, so unfortunately I cannot comment. Sorry, Mark's toys around my feet. So we get on to the next ones. First, we have True Lies. Obviously, had the special 4K release recently. I mean, I do like this movie, but I'm happy with my DVD version. Then one of my friend's favourite movies, True Romance. I thought it's a good movie. I wouldn't necessarily call it a great movie, but did make my wife watch it recently. Truly, Madly, Deeply. Good old Alan Rickman there. Basically, it's a woman coming to realising the death of her partner. Quite sad, and not exactly what you was expecting. A Laugh a Minute, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, a great comedy movie. I do like Aaron Tudrick, and yeah, I think great. If you haven't seen it and you do like comedies, this is right. And a bit of horror. Turbo, so we like the animated films. It was okay. From DreamWorks, something a little different. Turner and Hooch. Loved it back in the day. Obviously bought it. Have not rewatched it because obviously it has a dog and my dog will go nuts, so I have to wait until he's not around or asleep. Turn It Up. Obviously from the Dance Step Up era. Labels aren't on it. I may have watched it. I don't really recall. It probably was a long time ago. Trust a Man. Obviously, is it like Infidelity, I think, kind of features on this. I can't really remember if I've even seen it. Unfortunately, this is the problem with 12 Monkeys, a great movie from back a little way. Been a long time since I have seen it. I do really need to rewatch it. Twin Dragons, a very cheesy Jackie Chan movie where he is obviously one of 2 twins. And then Jet Li's Twin Warriors. Not a set of twins this time, or identical twins like that, but I mean, the labels are still on it, so I've not seen it, so I cannot comment. Twisted, I think it's kind of psychological thriller. Don't really recall it, in all fairness. So Twist of Fate, so my favourite 2 wrestlers from my era, so to speak, the Hardy Boys. Good to watch. It's kind of 2 movies, and you get to kind of, or it's documentaries based on you hearing about them and their lives and what they went through, and it's very interesting. And then we have Men, 2.5 Men. Never really sat down to watch this, so I bought the series for me and wife to watch. So we have season 1 there. And then obviously just on the lookout for cheaper ones. So we have 4 and we have 5 because they were in a charity shop. So I do need to pick some more of them up. Two Brothers. So obviously an animal. I think it's in Africa. Obviously a big fan of this young lad here who grows up to be the good doctor. 2x2, a very recent kind of comedy animated movie. It explores of 2 young creatures on Noah's Ark there. 2 for the Money, Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino. Not the greatest film from what I remember, kind of the, it's all about the money and the con and everything else. I've seen it before. A very bad Australian movie, Two Hands, starring Heath Ledger, very, very young and upcoming, obviously, actor at the time. I didn't think much to it. Too Much. This is Antonio Banderas, is it, where he plays twins? Yes, he plays himself, but as twins trying to romance 2 different people. It was alright. Very silly. Two Night Stand. I like Miles Teller. I didn't think this was great. I think they have they have a one night stand and then they kind of have a one night stand later on. And that's why it's called Two Night. Okay. Good old Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant, 2 Weeks Notice. Really, really like these old movies. They don't make a lot of movies like this. Then we have Unbreakable, a great M. Night Shyamalan movie. And obviously to follow up Unbreakable, we have Split, probably my favourite of the trilogy. Absolutely amazing performance from James McAvoy. And that is not English. I did not even notice. I somehow have a copy of Split, but it's not even an English version. Okay, I will have to rectify that at some point. Then we have a sealed copy of Glass. So it's at the cinema. He did the best with what he could, but due to the limitations that were put on him. One I watched last year, my friend gave me this, UHF, so Weird Al Yankovic. Not the greatest movie, but it is quite a rare one, so that will stay in the collection. Ultraviolet, so this was a gift from Matt's V Movies. Rewatched it recently, it was okay. Uncle Buck, good old John Candy. I never really watched this back in there. I may have watched it like once or something, but not as popular as other people as Home Alone would have been, but I still do like it. Then we have Underdog, Walt Disney kind of dog movie again. I liked this, it was alright. I think it's an American cartoon of that, isn't it? I think it's based off. Then Steven Seagal, Under Siege. I think AJ reviewed recently, said there's one thing of popping out a cake. That's the main thing people know. I thought it was all right. He did say he liked the second one, which I do. The stealth bomber and that I do kind of agree. The second one is quite an underrated movie. Then we have Stephen King's series based off his book Under the Dome, a great series of basically a town that gets surrounded by a dome and what that actually entails. So we have season 2. Again, never realised that was. I've obviously bought a foreign version, but it is all in English because we have watched this all. And then season 3, which is in English, so that's. Then we go down to the next list. So we have Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. I really liked this movie back in the day. Been a long time since I have seen it. Then obviously okay. I think those are all in the wrong order, so I think is the second one, Evolution. Yeah, because it's got Bill Nighy in, and then Rise of the Lycans, which is the kind of prequel one, which she wasn't in. Then she returned for Awakening. I mean, I like Scott Speedman. It's a shame he kind of got written out of it. And then you have the 5th one, Blood War. It was all right, but I think it was kind of a sinking ship at that time. Unfriended, a horror movie that I picked up cheap. I've never got round to watching it yet. Unforgettable. Me and my wife watched this. It's kind of a women rivalry type of what would they do, wouldn't they do. It's okay. United 9-3, obviously about the plane that was supposedly going to hit the Pentagon and shut down. Obviously we never know what happens, but I didn't mind it. I thought it portrayed a good enough story. Then the original Jean-Claude Van Damme's Universal Soldier with Dolph Lundgren. Like this back in the day, has been a long time since I've seen it. Big fan of Megadeth, who did the song for this one, and obviously Bill Goldberg from the ECW days. I was a big fan, so this is why I really enjoyed this movie. I know it's not the best. Then what I thought was the really bad Day of Reckoning, but you know, Scott Speed, I think it's Scott Adkins even, he plays the lead in this one, but just wasn't used enough. Unknown, good old Jim Caviezel. A load of strangers wake up in a loft and they've all been kind of drugged. I thought this was a really, really great movie. If you've not seen this and you're a big fan of Jim Caviezel, I would definitely recommend to watch this. And then we have the Liam Neeson Unknown, where he wakes up and he doesn't remember his memory. This was okay. It's obviously on the hit of his Taken, you know, revitalising of his career. Unleashed, or what was called Danny the Dog. So I think this is one of the last films Bob Hoskins did before he died. I quite like this. Jet Li. I do love Jet Li movies. Up in the Air. So George Clooney movie. Has this got Anna Kendrick in it as well? Or maybe oh no, it does have Anna Kendrick there. Yeah, I didn't mind this one. It's all right. Uptown Girl. So a very heartfelt Brittany Murphy movie of kind of being a mother to Dakota Fanning. Then we go to Urban Legends. Good old there. He is Jared Leto. I think this was the first film he did, maybe. I didn't mind Urban Legend. Obviously, he got 2. Because why not? And then obviously Bloody Mary, the third one. I don't know if I've seen this one, so definitely can't comment. An Unlikely Hero, a really bad Ryan Reynolds movie about him kind of thinking he's a superhero, but he's not. Unstoppable, obviously a Train's Out of Control, Chris Pine, Denzel Washington. You can't really go too wrong with Denzel. Untouchable, a great movie. This was on my top 100 list, and I definitely recommend this. Obviously about a down and out man who I think comes out of prison, who helps this quadriplegic man, and how they kind of get to know each other. Upgrade, took me ages to watch this, and I watched it first time, didn't enjoy it, bought it, watched it a second time recently, and actually really thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully they will do a second one. Us, a lot of hyper Jordan Peele's movie. I didn't mind this. It had some good parts in it. It had some bad parts I thought in it, but I didn't mind it. US Marshals, obviously the Wesley Snipes, you know, it's kind of the Fugitive, or that era of the buddy cop, kind of all one chasing each other. Obviously Robert Downey Jr. there. Then we have the reboot version of V, which I quite liked. Obviously, unfortunately, only went for 2 seasons, but quite a good cast. But unfortunately, never made it. Then Valentine's, not Matthew Broderick there, David Boreanaz. Not going to say too much more. It was all right, kind of here. Valentine's Day, you kind of all lovey, cheery one. Taylor Swift in it then. Can't really remember this one, so it obviously wasn't that great. Valkyrie, Tom Cruise in the army, trying to blow up Hitler, I believe. Obviously based on Incredible Truth. Not a bad movie from Bryan Singer. Vampire in Brooklyn, so Eddie Murphy is a vampire. Heard a lot of raves about this, never seen it, rewatched it, didn't think it was that great, unfortunately. Then we have Vampires, John Carpenter's James Wood. That's my dog, apologies for that. Does this have... I can't remember. We carry on once my dog's been quiet. So Val Helsing, it's a big special edition there. Not seen it in a long time. I didn't mind it. Then really weirdly, I have the anime of Van Helsing. So that should actually, I think. I don't know if this was actually, is this actually classed as anime? So this is the problem where I have. So I would say this probably is. It's an animated movie, but not anime. Tom Cruise, Vanilla Sky. Never seen it. Vantage Point. Not a bad movie, good concept, fairly well executed. but doesn't really stick to mine. Then we have the very funny Van Wilder from back in the day. James Van Der Beek in Varsity Blues. Bought this, but I don't think I've ever got around to watching it. Do like the football kind of movies, so I look forward to watching that. Vegas Baby. This was a cheap one that I got from a car boot. I don't expect it to be much, but we shall see. Paul Walker, Vehicle 19. It basically is almost set, I believe, Paul Walker behind the wheel of a car. Not the greatest movie. Something I bought my wife recently, Vera. So this is the first 4 seasons. So we do like our kind of British crime police dramas. Also my wife's, obviously she did like Veronica Mars, so I bought the whole set. Then we have quite a good martial art movie, Versus. Remember, I think this is the plane that transforms into it as well. Then we have Vertigo. Obviously this was bought for my 100 list. I didn't mind this movie. I could appreciate it for what it is. Very Bad Things, Christian Slater, Cameron Diaz. I believe this is where a woman gets killed in a hotel room. John Favreau is in it. And then the final one, and what a one to end on, V for Vendetta. I love this movie. Have not seen it in a long time. Obviously sealed copy, but I will really have to watch it. And there we go. So that is episode 45, I believe. I could be wrong. Yeah, 45. So in the collection, hope you're enjoying it. Obviously, we potentially only have one more video before we get to more stuff. Hopefully you liked this series. Please like, comment, subscribe if you feel the need to. Please comment down below. Always interesting to hear your thoughts and feelings. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.